Al, what is reading is fun? I know reading is fun. I love to read.
Reading is Fun is a program that I began to establish about 14 months ago, and we're speeding up right now in anticipation of beginning this summer, continuing for a full year, and then forever. It speaks to a great need in Schenectady, in its school district, Schenectady generally, in the state, and frankly in the country. President Obama has been speaking very frequently about the need for federal support for a universal preschool program in the country. Alas, he's not going to get the money. We can discount that. The governor has talked about that at the state level. Just yesterday, the budget was passed. He's about to sign off, allotting about $300 million for that program to New York City, half of which will have as its participants the private sector with Mayor de Blasio's public school district. Very little money is available, only a remnant $40 million for all of upstate New York, including us.
That's not a lot of money when it comes to...
The county has no money, the city has no money, so I determined, looking at the situation over many, many years, as a private citizen in the area, as the husband of Sally Magid, who taught for 25 years in the school district, that there's there's really an egregious need. Let me give you a few running statistics. Tests have indicated that from K to 12 in the Schenectady School District, more than half the students are reading below grade level.
Really?
Yeah, that's a fact.
More than half?
Yes, it's a fact. It's not an opinion. In math and in the English language arts, okay?
Is that because we have people that come into the area that might not be English speakers, because we know that we have that?
Unlike in previous generations, including my own, your own, I'm sure, many of these kids come into kindergarten without going through any kind of reading regimen.
Right.
They're not acclimated to books, to reading, to being taught letters and letter sounds, letter combinations, etc. Okay. Another case in point, for example, in September and October of the current academic year, 775 new kindergartners were assessed, evaluated, if you will. Only one of the 775, literally only one, that's much less than 1%, can identify all the letter sounds. These are facts, these are not opinions, okay? So I decided...
I'm stunned now, I'm sorry, I'm stunned.
Believe me, I was stunned. I wish it were otherwise. Love you, Ann. If it were otherwise, I wouldn't be here. There would be no need for the program, okay? So I determined that there had to be an all-volunteer enterprise. I would launch it. It would have to be free of charge to all the participants. It would be targeted to 4-year-olds and their families, their parents and/or principal caregivers, okay? And the purpose of the program would be to teach the parents and the principal caregivers reading readiness skills. It's about this: how to recognize letters, letter sounds, letter combinations, and as well, because many of our children by 4 have had little constructive, useful conversational experience, to try to build conversational skills as well. As I said, we're well along the way, picking up speed in anticipation of starting this summer. Think of it as a 3-leg stool, if you will. One leg is raising volunteers, and we're doing very, very well there. We have nearly 40 people who've expressed a very, very strong interest in volunteering, and we can use as many volunteers as we can possibly get. Another is, because there are no grants for us, we partner with the school district, but we get no money from the school district.
Are they receptive to this?
Yes, they are. They will help us get their professional staff, train our people, our volunteers, in how to teach reading readiness skills. We'll link our curriculum to the K-level curriculum in the school district, et cetera, but we want no money. If we wanted money from the school district, there would be no money, okay? You know, until yesterday, Superintendent Spring was indicating that there would be a $10 million shortfall. The allocation in the budget just passed by the state still means a $6 million shortfall.
And so every school district is running into this.
We are symptomatic, if not emblematic. This is not unique. We have great teaching and learning that goes on in the school district, but we don't have the resources. In the Gazette this morning, Superintendent Spring indicated they may have to cut staff in the program.
I know.
to balance that budget. And
And usually arts and
Yeah.
you know, and all those things.
That's right. My citizen sense and my professional political science sense tells me that this is going to go on for a long, long time. Okay? So the first leg is raising volunteers, and we're well along the way. The second leg, if you will, or pillar of the program, is raising monies. It's all volunteer, but we do need administrative costs, acquisition of supplies, books, etc., okay, in-kind donations and money. And then finally, the third leg to make it work is we've got to bring in as many as we can every year of the 4-year-olds and their parents or...
How do they connect? How do you connect?
We are networking widely and deeply through personal contacts, churches. We're doing it right now on this program, okay? To draw those people in, understanding that the 3 legs are integral to each other. If we raised all the volunteers we would need and all the money we would need, but couldn't get the kids and the parents, the stool falls.
Yeah.
And likewise for any of the other 3 stools. So I'm here, if you will, underlining the importance of the program. It is of surpassing importance in our community and in other communities as well. We've got to get the kids up to par by 5 years old. Otherwise, there is a voluminous social science and neuroscience body of research that indicates they begin to fall off the track in kindergarten. They are off the track by 3rd grade, and that has profoundly disturbing consequences for their citizenship, for their work potential,
civic duty,
for their cultural development, and so on and so forth, okay? So this ain't do-goodism. I'm not a do-gooder. Nothing wrong with do-goodism, but that's not my motivation. Mine is a very practical, hard-headed response to what I see as a great need within our community.
Solving the problems out there. Well, I know I recently read a study that one of the important things is that parents or caregivers have to talk to their kids, so they learn a vocabulary. I was astounded that people don't talk to their kids, and I mean, it's like when I was growing up, my mother was always talking to me, whether it was about cooking or sewing or something. And so you kind of learn a vocabulary and you start hearing things. And
you learn a social role as well.
Yeah.
I mean, my talking to you and you talking to me now does not simply involve us communicating, obviously. You understand what I'm saying. But we are a social unit. We are engaging with each other. I can remember many years ago, my son, an undergraduate at Yale at the time, bringing a girlfriend home and being charmed by our dinner party of 14 people around the table, okay, talking to each other. And I said, well, surely that happens in your home. Solid middle class, Westchester County family, okay? My parents are like ships in the night. We never talk.
See, this is what I'm saying, yeah.
And these are what? These are people with a substantial endowment. Yeah. Yale undergraduate, professional parents, a lot of money, and here's us saying, we barely talk to each other. So the program will emphasize learning letters to identify letters, letter sounds, letter combinations, and building of conversational skills.
Hopefully a little phonics in there too.
Oh, you can bet on it.
I love phonics.
You can bet on it.
I don't like the sight stuff. I think you got to sound out those words.
No, this is real world, real time.
Good. Thanks, Al. Please keep us posted on how it's going. And if anyone wants to get a hold of you, I think we have your not your website, but your
if you
email
want to
address.
Being a volunteer, I think Greg has put on the screen how to contact me at my email address to make donations.
There it is right there.
Et cetera, et cetera. We welcome it. It is a citywide project, key to 700. The universe is important here. Believe it or not, every year there are 700 to 900 4-year-olds in this city of 65,000 people. We want to reach as many of that number as we can.
Highest potential for each one of them.
Absolutely.
Find out how you can help, and if you're retired, maybe you're looking for something to do. Give them a call.
Thank you.
You'll answer that phone, right?
You're a sweetheart.
Okay. Thank you.